happy evening, a very good evening. I hope and I believe all of you are doing well, guys. And with your FMG exam coming up in next 1 to 2 days, we can totally understand, your anxiety must be at its peak, but that's what we are here for, to give you a quick, brush up of what are the important things just before the exam, in the exam hall, and all of that. So I don't think, the educators here with me need any introduction. So, we would start with some valuable insights from our very favorite educator, Dr. Preeti ma'am. So over to you, ma'am, if you could give some suggestions to our exam appearing aspirants.
Thank you, ma'am. And I'm sure the students, as we can read in the live chat, their anxiety levels are already on the peak. And also with such a session coming up, I think it kind of rises because you know that you've approached and reached that day. And obviously all four of us over here are not here to tell you anything about what to study, what to leave. We've done all of that. Now it's more of giving you that last push because I'm sure you're feeling very clueless right now. Just 2 to 3 quick pointers and advice from my side. And I think then the others will also take over. Now you've got, let's say, 36 hours left before this exam. So what should you be reading? I honestly don't have any topics to give to you. If you are studying, whatever you're doing, whether it be your bookmarked questions or it be your notes, right now you should be doing something very similar in content to the LRR. So in case you're able to study on your own, then great. You've got that grit and determination. But in case you're feeling too anxious and you feel that, everything's kind of slipping away, so then what do you come down to? It's your LRR PDFs. Either you read it on your own, wo bhi nahi ho raha hai, then you just play the video on a 2x speed and keep listening to it because at the end of it, some study is better than no study. So even passive learning will help. By now, I'm sure I'm going to mention the very obvious. You've got your travel sorted, know where your exam center actually is. You've got all of that sorted, what you're going to eat in the morning. Basics are done. Anyone spreading any rumors about how June exam is tougher than Jan exam and all of those things, a lot of that goes around this time. So this is exactly what you're supposed to not listen to. Do not get into the negativity. If you have to leave social media for the last 1 to 2 days, I think it's pretty much doable because the more content you consume, it kind of gets you into the negativity loop because right now you're very vulnerable to it. So just leave all of that. And for the exam day particularly, now it comes down to whatever you've left. Right now you're in that zone ke kuch bhi yaad nahi aa raha hai. That's a question you're getting maximally. And that is because right now you are thinking of so many things. Your brain is divided into a lot of segments. You're thinking about 19 subjects karne the, syllabus khatam nahi hua. Then you had so many PDFs which you downloaded from Telegram and other places which you could never revisit. Then you had a million screenshots in your gallery which again you cannot revisit. So right now you're thinking of so many things that knowledge and MCQ solving to comes at the bottom of your list. But now the tables are going to turn because when you go and give the exam on 28th, all of this will be sidelined. Now it's going to be between you and the screen. And with every one question popping up on the screen for 45-50 seconds that you take to solve it, everything else will get diluted and then you go into that tunnel vision where you're only focusing on that question and you're coming to an answer to that. So your mind will automatically channelize you and you can take that after interacting with so many students over the past so many years. This is exactly what happens in the exam because you're not thinking कि मेरा क्या syllabus रहता है, क्या नहीं रहता. So all those distractions are eliminated and then you're only thinking about कि exam में ये question and how can I come to the single best answer. And trust me on this, the question and the answer both are in front of you. So it's not a subjective paper. You have to find out. It's something like आपको cheating करनी है exam में because the answer is in front of you. Of course, for that, you need a very sane mindset. The more panicky, in tachycardia that you go in, the more chances are that you will not be able to eliminate the options and come to a right one. So, आप जितना sane mind में, जितना normal heart rate में exam में जाओगे, which I'm sure Marwah sir will also tell you about. So, जितना normal heart rate में जाओगे, उतना chances हैं कि आपका mind channelize करके आपको answer de paega. That is the most important. And the last word from my side will be the most crucial time is not before or after the exam. It's in between the two exams. That is paper 1 and paper 2. honestly, none of us are interested to know आपका. I am not interested to know paper one कैसा गया right after it. I mean, you can tell me after 5 o'clock and I'll be more than happy to listen to it. But वो जो break time में you guys come on Telegram and start discussing that how paper one was good, bad or ugly, that is not required. That is your break time. How you utilize your break time is totally up to you. You decide to just close your eyes, sit in a corner, do not talk to your friends or talk to your friends about non-academic things. I mean, utilize it in a very in a proper manner. Don't utilize it discussing the same paper one, exhausting yourself so that by the time you go to paper two, which is going to be the lengthier one with lengthy questions, with a lot of things that you'll have to apply with your brain, with your concepts, you'll be so exhausted that that brain fog will ultimately overtake. So you have to make sure that the time in between the two exams is utilized extremely judiciously, properly, and you're not wasting any time. I'm sure we've got a lot of questions which are coming up, which everyone will be taking. But over to Ankit sir for the next piece of advice that sir would also want to share with you. So over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. So I think Preeti ma'am has already guided you that what to do, and I think not much is left now. But from my being a pharmacologist and your educator, I would advise you not to take any medication at this moment. Remember, all these medications which you will take to relieve your stress, or let's say it will enhance your memory. Remember, these medications have a lot of adverse effect. The stress relieving medication may interfere with your memories, and the memory increasing medications, which are drug of abuse also, that may increase your anxiety levels as well. So avoid any kind of medication. So you must be asking, sir, ab kya kare, what we should do at this moment. Remember, just if you are, I think you must have already started working on your sleep cycle as well. So try to wake up a little bit early, get tired. Your body should feel a little bit of tiredness so that you can have a sound sleep at night. And because for the next day, if you have an exam in the morning, and especially it's a 2 shift exam, you should have a little bit of energy. So having a good sound sleep is very important. Now, some students are also saying that in between the exam, when we have a break, should we revise or we should just take a rest and calm yourself further down? Remember, beta, if you are feeling energetic, yes, you can open your books and you can revise anything you want, which is left, which you think is left, might be important for the second part of the exam. But remember, if you are feeling tired, don't open any book. Just relax. More calm mind will give you more focus. You will able to attempt answers in a much better way. And remember, there are two parts. It is definitely sure, ये हमेशा होगा ही होगा, that the one of the part you will find it difficult and the other part you will find much more easier. And most of the time in FMG exam, the first part, when you go to the center and open your screen, the first few questions you might find it harder. So it's a kind of a psychological game. Not just your memory or your medical knowledge is being tested here. Remember also, how much mentally you are stronger is also being tested here. So it's very important that even if you find the first part a little bit difficult, remember the second part will be much more easier than that. This is what we are seeing from past several years in FMG. So don't panic. It's a qualifying exam. Okay, so this is a piece of advice. So now I'll hand over the speech to Nikita ma'am. Ma'am, further piece of advice.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. So, hello, everyone. And, we can sense from the live chat that anxiety is at its peak, and we can totally relate to it because even we have been through it, right? And especially I can remember, whenever I'm here for any all the best session, I remember how I used to feel just before the exam. So, answering few queries in the live chat, whether you should utilize the time, like sir had also addressed. If I was in your place, I'm a person who would keep revising till the time I enter the exam hall. So it varies from person to person. Please, follow whatever you have been doing so far. If you have been a person who closes the books, who stops studying one day before the exam, whatever has, suited you so far, please continue doing that because that's what is your personality. Second, please take every question as a new question. Do not think about the questions that you have already attempted. Do not think about the questions that are about to come. It's like one question at a time. Only what you are seeing on the screen is what you have to think about. That is very, very important. And third thing, no bias when you are reading any question, right? A question might seem like this is a PYQ exact repeat, but remember there can be some change. Even one word here and there can change the answer. So please do not jump to the answers. Read the 4 options before marking the answer, right? So instead of just marking the answer, you should also be able to, think that why the other 3 options are not the answer. That's very, very important. No silly mistakes, because this is commonly done, when you are in the exam hall in that panicky state. We forget to read the not, we forget to read the except part. So read the question thoroughly till the last word. That's very important. When you have long stem questions, right, especially in the recent years, we are seeing in FMG exam also there are clinical questions, long stem questions. Always start reading from the last line, because the crux of the question is given in the last line, and that's a big time saver for you, right? So that's very, very important. Read the last line, then read the second last line. The last 2 lines, they give you the crux of the question and save your time. And I hope all of you know that even your FMG exam is in sections, right? 50 questions each section. So one section, especially if the first section is difficult, please do not lose hopes, because examiners generally tend to do that. They want to test, like sir said, how mentally strong you are. So do not let the performance of your first section affect the performance of other sections. That's very, very important. And also remember that there might be some technical glitches even in the final exam hall, right? It does not just happen only on the apps, but it happens on the final exam hall as well. So if your computer system shuts down, do not panic, because when you are given another computer system, your time starts from wherever you had left. So your time is not going anywhere. So please remember that. It has happened in the past with many students. Remember that, right? And remember, now and in the exam hall, what matters more is your attitude than the aptitude. I always say that now is the time of being very, very calm, having the faith that whatever efforts you have put are definitely going to bear those fruits. So please remember all of these things. Do not let the performance of part A affect part B, right? Not at all. And I hope all of you come out of the exam hall with that smiling face. And like always, we would be waiting to hear from each one of you, like Preeti ma'am said, but after part B, not after part A, like after your exam gets over. So remember all these small, small things. Please keep all your arrangements ready for the exam, and all the very best from all of us, right? Over to Marwah sir. Students waiting to hear from Marwah sir. So over to you, sir.
Hi guys, I would like to wish you the very best for the forthcoming exam. I have only 2 messages and you don't need to worry about anything. पहली बात तो अगर कुछ समझ में ना आए तो बॉक्स ब्रीदिंग करो, 4 सेकंड इंस्पिरेशन, फिर होल्ड ब्रेथ, देन ब्रीद आउट, तो धीरे धीरे दिमाग क्लिक कर जाएगा. सो मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल दे गेट अ मेंटल ब्लॉक और हिट अ मेंटल ब्लॉक व्हेन दे आर अटेम्प्टिंग अ क्वेश्चन. तो वो ऑटोमेटिकली आपका जो ब्रेन है, न्यूरो कॉर्टेक्स में जो लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी होती है, वो क्लिक इन कर जाती है और आप क्वेश्चंस को आंसर कर पाओगे. तो पहला मैसेज तो यही है कि जस्ट ट्राई टू अगर मतलब बहुत ज्यादा प्रेशर लगे तो डू अ बॉक्स ब्रीदिंग थिंग एंड आई थिंक दिस विल वर्क. दूसरा, किसी ने पूछा था कि ड्रेस कोड क्या होगा, तो भाई बीच वेयर डाल के मत जाना, वो बाकी सब ठीक है. एनी ना पोलका डॉट्स वाली तुम शर्ट पर डाल के मत जाओ ब्राइट कलर की. तो इट इज लाइक अ नॉर्मल वेयर दैट यू हैव टू डू. एंड देन समबडी सेड डर नहीं लग रहा, तो अच्छी बात है यार. इसमें मतलब वाई टू फाइट विद द इमोशंस, मतलब अगर डर लग रहा है तो नहीं लगना चाहिए, और अगर लग रहा है तो ठीक है. आई मीन दिस इज अ पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ लाइफ. दिस इज नॉट वॉर एंड दिस इज नॉट द एंड ऑफ लाइफ. तो आई वो सवाल ऑटोमेटिकली द एमसीक्यूज यू विल बी एबल टू फिगर आउट इन द एंड. और जब करोगे तो ऐसे ही लगेगा कि शायद नहीं आता है, या यू विल थिंक दैट मे बी यू मार्क्ड इट तुक्का. माई ओनली सजेशन इज, जो मैंने 2 बातें बोली, पहला तो यही कि मतलब स्ट्रेस हो तो बॉक्स ब्रीथिंग करना. दूसरा, अपने आंसर्स को चेंज मत करना इन द एंड, बिकॉज वो बहुत बार मैंने देखा है कि वो जो पहले वाला आंसर होता है वही ज्यादा सही रहता है. एंड किसी ने पूछा कि व्हाट टू डू इफ लाइक आई डोंट नो एनीथिंग इन दैट एमसीक्यू. लेट इट गो मैन, बिकॉज देयर वुड बी 10 to 15% क्वेश्चंस व्हिच आर गोना बी लाइक वी कॉल देम बाउंसर्स एवरी टाइम. तो वो तो होता ही है, हर पार्ट में ऐसे ही होता है. आप लाइफ में कभी भी कोई भी, चाहे एग्जाम हो या कोई भी चीज हैंडल करोगे, तो उसमें कई चीजें ऐसी होती है जो नॉन मैनेजेबल होती हैं. तो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड टू लेट देम गो, एंड दे वुड ऑलवेज बी इजी वंस अवेलेबल. तो वो धीरे धीरे तुम देखोगे तुम्हारी ब्रीदिंग ऑटोमेटिकली रेगुलेट हो जाएगी, एंड बिकॉज जस्ट लाइक यू हैव बीन गिविंग टेस्ट रेगुलरली एंड यू हैव बीन फॉलोइंग अप द LRR सेशंस, तो ग्रेजुअली थिंग्स विल स्टार्ट वर्किंग इन योर फेवर. सो आई थिंक बहुत ज्यादा ज्ञान भी मतलब इस टाइम पे लास्ट मूवमेंट पे बहुत ज्यादा भी एडवाइस नहीं रहना चाहिए और बहुत ज्यादा अंडर प्रिपेयर नहीं होना चाहिए. एंड या आई मीन सुबह ब्रेकफास्ट ठीक से कर लेना. आई थिंक दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज लॉट ऑफ गाइज दे टेंड टू से कि चॉकलेट एंड बनाना पे कर लेंगे गुजारा, but then somehow if you're not used to eating a banana or a chocolate, it causes an issue. And second, tomorrow if try बिना एसी के सर्वाइव करने का, बिकॉज लॉट्स ऑफ टाइम एट द सेंटर्स द एयर कंडीशनिंग इज नॉट वेरी वेरी ऑप्टिमल. सो गर्मी में थोड़ा रहने की आदत हो जाए, बिकॉज अभी आप थर्मो न्यूट्रल जोन में रहते हो तो बड़ा कंफर्टेबल सा फील होता है. एंड लाइक इन द एग्जामिनेशन हॉल वो छोटी सी 10 रुपए की वाली 10 रुपए वाली पानी की बोतल से भी छोटी बोतल मिलती है, तो स्टूडेंट बोलते हैं कि इसको पीऊं या सिर पे डालूं क्योंकि ओवर ईटिंग हो गई थी ब्रेन की. तो आई थिंक लाइक you just need to keep calm about it, and it's gonna be a little hot, so I think it would be a test of both physical and mental stamina. But yep, I mean, you have to take it on the chin wali baat ho jati in the end. So this would be like the final bite from my side. And Preeti ma'am, if you can just say a few more words before we can close.
So I think everyone has given the most valuable advice. And as Sir was saying right now, the first and the gut feeling is always the best answer, and you should stick to it. This problem has increased more nowadays because you have the exam in 6 blocks. So this means at the end of every block, you have a chance of changing your answers, which has kind of exponentially increased the number of answers that you're changing, which is so wrong because when you overthink both in life and in the exam, you are going to mess up. So the first feeling, the gut feeling will get you the right answer, and that is exactly what you will go with. So as everyone has told, and I think everyone in the next 1 to 2 days will tell you the same, this is about the mindset now. It is, as ma'am was saying, about aptitude. It is going to be how yes, knowledge matters. It is a medical exam. Knowledge will always matter. But in the last 1 to 2 days, it's always about how you're approaching the situation and how you're ready to take it. So being headstrong is very, very important. And yes, that's about it. We've come to the day where we have to let you go and be on your own and shine bright. And we are very confident that you are going to. There's no two doubts. You might not have that confidence right now, but we've interacted with you over the past so many months. And we have that confidence that once the question comes on the screen, you will be able to solve it no matter what. So just go with that faith. That's all that we have to say. And no need to ask for wishes and blessings. It's very obvious, even if we wouldn't have come on this session right now, blessings, wishes will always be with you. And that's the least we can do, right? So just go give it your best and see you on the other side, where we will bombard you with questions, make you relive your trauma, ask you what was asked in the exam, what were the options. So all of that is very soon approaching. So think of the other side now, and that's all that you have to do. Think of what you will be doing after the exam. You will be attending those recall sessions which might or might not make any sense. You will be watching the favorite Netflix series that you had been postponing all this while, hopefully postponing and not watching. You will be watching something like India's Got Latent, which now has a season 2. So there is so many things that you have missed out in this process of studying, and all of that is coming up. Maybe you will go on a trip which was planned since so long. So yes, that's the better side that is coming very, very soon, and that is what you should be looking forward to. So thank you so much for joining in, and wishing you all the very best. And to, of course, everyone who's joined, Ankit sir, Deepak sir, and Nikita ma'am, I think the most valuable advice that students are going to carry in the exam is going to be from whatever all of you have told them. So thank you so much for joining.
Okay, guys, take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye, all the best.